Hello, I would like to start the presentation for the assignment on the leadership and strategy management. My name is Thuya, and I'm a student of second batch for Strix MBA. And the question for this assignment is how emotional intelligence is having effect on the leader and organization, how possessing the emotional intelligence, EQ, uh, make the leader effective, and why or why not, and choose one leader that I admire or who is familiar with me, and discuss the leader success related to uh, emotional intelligence. So I'm going to start the presentation on this. So everybody understands about the emotional intelligence. It is kind of the ability to differentiate or distinguish uh, own emotions and other emotions, understands other emotion, and aware everything, all the situation, and then direct and put the input for the particular situation. Particularly for the leader, such EQ is really important for the leader, and then because leaders tend to form the culture, corporate cultures, and work environment. So for those leader who has a high degree of emotional intelligence, they will create the really good work environment. And in my opinion, there are three most valuable traits of great leaders with high emotional intelligence. There are many people talking about many traits about EQ and effective leaderships. I just want to reframe based on only my opinion. So the first one is selflessness, and then empathy, and the courage to lead. These are three traits, really important traits for the leader, and who has a really high emotional intelligence. Okay, and so I'm going to go through very quick each by each because I have got 5 or 10 minutes time. So selflessness is really difficult for people to practice selflessness because uh, human beings, most of the human beings are selfish, and we have our own ego. So it's really difficult for people, particularly for the leader, to put others ahead and prioritize people in their organization, and and then particularly building the human connections, building the trust, and building the mutual respect. It's really critical for the organization. And also people are willing to, particularly leaders are willing to sacrifice for the people working under them. And the most important thing is that becoming a leader is a choice of lifestyle, and which means you have to take care of others, and empathy comes. And so the more we do good for other people, and those other people will do good for us. This is kind of interaction and interchange reaction amongst people. If you have others, and particularly if you see somebody helping others in the street, and that's kind of the view you got, and then you are willing to help other people. And empathy breeds kindness, and that's exactly what happened. And when it comes to talking about the empathy and kindness and love between us, and then courage to live, and courage to lead. And of course, this is one of the most important traits as well. And as a leader, you are the one who lead the people, and you have the absolute confidence to go first, whatever you do first, instead of staying behind and giving order and instructions to do that and to do this. And on the other hand, you call the leaders heroes because they never hesitate to risk their life, to risk their own interest for others. And if we talk about leadership, we talk about ethics as well. So ethical leadership requires leaders not only to remain legal, but also live up to the highest standard of morality. So it means that you keep doing the right thing, and rather than the expedient thing, and self-motivated ideas for other people. And then if we talk about leadership and emotional intelligence, we can't forget Daniel Goleman. He said, leadership is not domination. It is the art of persuading people to work toward a common goal. Yes, it's people talk about leadership, it's kind of influence to the people and domination. And so as a leader, we know where we want to go as an organization, our goal, our vision. So as a leader, it's really important to convince everyone that where we want to go is a predicate, is a real, and then persuade everybody to believe in this goal and do what we need to do to achieve our goal. So that's the most important thing as a leader. We share the common goal. We understand our goal, all right? And when it comes to talking about EQ, we can't forget about IQ as well, because IQ is also considered as one of the most important elements for the human being. So they are frequently confused with one another and precisely. And so the most significant differences between EQ and IQ is just an intelligence quotient, also measure the relative intelligence of the individual. IQ, people are born with the IQ, and usually people argue that IQ cannot be improved. And EQ, the ability to recognize and control your own emotions and others' emotions, as an emotional intelligence. And most of the successful leaders have a high degree of EQ. Why EQ is much more important than IQ? Of course, I consider that EQ is much more important than IQ. You can see the photo of iceberg. You know, IQ is just tip of the bark, and EQ is a large portion of the bark, which means that we regularly hear people talking about all the time emotional intelligence and IQ and EQ, and EQ is really big part of the leadership. It is really important because the more we are emotionally intelligent, the greater we have self-confidence, self-esteem, and the more we understand other people's emotion. So, and we can feel that. But on the other hand, EQ can be learned, can be improved, not unlike IQ. And EQ is kind of self-awareness, motivation, self-management, social skills, empathy. These are the elements of having a high EQ. And then, of course, I'm going to connect the point between the leader and EQ, the power of a leader with high EQ. So what happens when leaders are emotionally intelligent? So emotionally intelligent leaders cultivate the working environment, create the working culture where employees feel comfortable and to work for each other, and they feel safe taking risk, and they feel appreciated, and they are comfortable sharing their new ideas, their views, their opinions, and not listening to what leaders said. And working collaboratively is not only a goal, but it is integrated to the entire organization and culture. And good leadership involves everyone in the decision-making process. And so in order to do that, leaders need to understand other emotions, others' feelings, what they are thinking, because leaders appreciate and respect different opinions. Okay, so leaders with high emotional intelligence do not take things personally, and they are able to move on with strategies without thinking about the effect on their egos. That's the power of leadership. That's the power of the leader with high EQ. And then I have talked a lot about EQ and leadership. And then here are the list of the leaders and high emotional intelligence. I don't include their names intentionally because I already mentioned their names in our assignment paper sheet. All these people, they are successful people. They are great leaders. And however, these leaders are the most richest people in the world. Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Sir Richard Branson, Jack Ma, and Larry Ellison, Mark Zuckerberg, Bob Iger, Jeff Bezos. All these people built their companies and then bring billions of dollars of revenue each year. They couldn't have done it. They couldn't have done it without having high EQ, because they fully understand their people's emotions, their people's feelings and understandings. So they build their country on top of that. And then in Simon question needs to pick one, to choose one of the leaders and who demonstrates a high level of EQ. And so I pick Elon Musk, who is a CEO of Tesla, SpaceX, and founder of the Boeing company and co-founder of Neuralink, OpenAI, and SolarCity. If you look at his businesses, is tightly integrated to the sustainability of this planet. And so Elon Musk is a maker. He's a creator of many things, and he is dedicated his life to making this planet great. And also, he has done many good businesses, and he sold one of his internet firms, PayPal, to eBay for $1.5 billion. On top of that, he got $220 million, and he started, SpaceX, which is the space company agency supplying the services to the NASA. And one of the things I wanted to highlight is about case study on how Elon Musk harnessed his emotional intelligence. This is a real case scenario. And the moment he received the reports of news from the factory that staff are having kind of injuries and complaints, it is higher than average in the factory. So what he did is that he wrote the email to the factory workers, and so I would read out the email. No words can describe how much I deeply care about your well-being and safety. Once someone is injured, building cars and attempting their best to make Tesla successful, it hurts my heart. Going forward, I have demanded that any injury, regardless of circumstances, be reported directly to me, and I will meet every week with the safety team. I would like to meet every person injured, so after they are well, so that I can understand exactly what we need to do to make it better. Then I will go down to the production line and perform the same task that they perform. As a matter of course, this is exactly what all managers at Tesla should do. We are leading from front line at the Tesla, not from some secure, comfortably ivory tower. Managers must always prioritize the well-being of their staff above their own. So this is the email he sent out to the Tesla employees. His employees. And then go to next slide. It's the chart or characteristics of EQ of the Elon Musk. Talent, moderation, caution, emotionality. So these are the characteristics that contribute to emotional intelligence of Elon Musk. And then I would like to conclude this slide with the 5 inspiring traits of leaders with a high emotional intelligence by Simon Sinek. If you talk about leadership and EQ, we can't forget Simon Sinek. He's one of the most influential speakers and author of the best-selling books. And he said, these are the 5 traits of inspiring leaders. Start with why. Number 1, it's really important. Start with why based on the golden cycle. And then 2 is have clarity, discipline, and consistency. So as a leader, you need to have a clarity of your goal. Okay, within how many years we're going to achieve this goal. And then relentlessly, consistently follow in the direction of this goal. And then leader needs following. Of course, leader, they have to lead their team, and then followers believe in the leaders that they take care of each other. And communication isn't about speaking, number 4. It is about listening. Other leaders, of course, is really important, not to give only instructions and orders. You need to listen to your people so that you understand what's the real problem amongst them, what are the challenges they are facing. Then only you can understand as a leader. Without listening to people around you, working for you, you will not have any idea what's going on in the real world. And the lesson number 5 is serving those that serves others. Of course, as a leader, we are serving those people, serving our customers, serving others. And there's one saying that leaders are not responsible for the result. Leaders are responsible for the people who are responsible for the result. So this is down the line. And some people said that, you know, employees, clients is not the first. Employees is the first, and then client comes second. So these are the kind of you know, inspiring traits of the leader with high emotional intelligence. And so, of course, that's why EQ is really important for the leader to be successful and to create the successful business and leading the people where they want to achieve their goal. And so these are the traits of the leaders. And thank you very much.